I came home from work and I was taking a shower and I just had a really sharp pain. And I instantly just got out and I said, you know what, Felicia, we need to go to the hospital.
I first met Jacob shortly after his surgery for his testicular cancer. I met him with Dr. Kuritsky, and he's really an excellent example of someone who has his whole life ahead of him, has certainly a great chance of being cured from his testicular cancer, but is also suffering from the challenges that medical care and cancer care really can introduce, and that physical toxicity is definitely one of them.
When I first met Jacob, we talked a lot about the impact the cancer was going to have on him and his ability to work and the financial hardship that he was very concerned about. You have a young man who is working hard to make ends meet, and now we're going to be taking him out of the workforce, and he's worried about, can he really afford to be treated?
Kathy was able to help me with multiple things, which was a godsend. She played a major role in keeping us on our feet and keeping the roof over our head, to be honest. And I couldn't thank her enough because I was so worried about losing my transportation to work, losing my job, just not being able to pay the bills, put food on the table. It was difficult to think of.
It would be easier if I went and buried my head in the sand and said, you know, I'm just going to focus on determining what's the right treatment option for the patient, but that's not the right thing to do. And that doesn't take into account all the things that my patient's facing. And if I'm not aware or am not able to have the assistance of my whole team, including our social work and the patient assistant program, then I'm not doing my job as well as I should be, and my patients aren't going to get the care as well and as good as they should.
One patient comes to mind, and that's Mary Ellen. She worked, she had a good job. She raised her children, and she was looking forward to a time in her life when things might be a little bit easier. And then she develops cancer.
Somehow I thought I was going to be able to continue working through the chemo and everything. And then once I found out that that was not going to be the case, then I started to worry a little bit. You know, the financial burden of running a household and keeping up with all your obligations is huge.
Patients should be emotionally trying to cope with the diagnosis of cancer, not trying to be a banker and going through their savings account trying to figure out if they can live for a year without assistance as they go through treatment.
There are many times that I walk out of the room and I feel really helpless. What can I do? That's where you need to turn around and say, what can we do? How do we as a society, how do we as a hospital, how do we as a practice turn to these people and say, I can help you. I will help you through this, and then you'll get back on your feet and you'll think about how to make your life better.
I think it's important for people to support the patient assistance program because cancer can happen to anyone. Cancer's a journey. It's not something that comes and goes in a few weeks or a few months. So it does take its toll on you, you know, not only emotionally but financially as well. And I think it's so important for people to realize that it could happen to them.
Cancer is an equal opportunity disease. It does not know any boundaries. And I think we have to understand that even those that may think they're set for life, even those that think they have enough, when you have a devastating illness, you may not have enough.
If you have someone that is debating in their head whether they're going to seek treatment based on their ability to pay their utility bill or their mortgage, that's worrisome to us because ultimately, if they don't get treatment, we may be providing end-of-life care for that person in a year or so that could have been avoided.
I would hope that in this day and age, as we look at treating patients with cancer, we can really think about how we'd want to be treated ourselves if something happened. I think about that a lot.
The care has been so professional, but so wonderful. It's like a team of angels that I have working for me. And that's probably been the best part of this whole experience, is just knowing that every week when I come, that I'm going to have these wonderful people looking after me.